I cut the check, I cut the check, I cut the check. Tell my niggas we up next, so we up next. She shot a text, she shot a text, she shot a text. Kill the I might put the different day, put a nigga on that same shit. I've been ballin' with my niggas, Kevin Cambridge. Oh, you drippy, but you better tuck your chain quick.
What's good, y'all? We back for another episode. Well, actually, this is not really an episode. This is just the talk about something that's been a main topic in NBA for like the past couple of days, and it's about the Dallas Mavericks. Like, what's wrong with them? And I feel like it's a lot of components to like why they're struggling right now, and I just wanted to talk about it because coming into this season, a lot of people had high expectations for Luka, and not only Luka, just the whole team. But let's get into it. So last season, they had the best offense of all time, offensive rating of all time, and it was solely because of their coach and their, I want to say offensive coordinator, but their assistant coach Steven Silas. Just the type of what is it called? The type of game plan he brought in with his offense. It was heavy pick and roll, heavy shooting, and they had the people to shoot the ball, heavy shooting, a lot of lobs too, and a lot of getting out on fast breaks. And it worked. Well, then you fast forward to this offseason, Steven Silas, he leaves to go be a head coach, which he really deserved because he's been an assistant coach for a long time. And now he's a head coach on the Rockets. They're looking really good. But yeah, he leaves. So then you fast forward to this season. Well, this offseason, they trade Seth Curry for Josh Richardson. And at that time, that seemed like a really good trade because the 76ers, they needed shooting, and they needed shooting bad. And Seth Curry is one of the best shooters of all time. And not even just a shooter. He can create for his own. Really nice off the pick and roll. And you see what that's doing in the 76ers. Like, they look really good. But then you look, and the Mavericks got Josh Richardson. And that seemed like a good trade for a lot of people, and it really was to me because Josh Richardson, for a long time, he's been known as a 3-and-D player, one of the best. No, I wouldn't say one of the best in the league, but a really good 3-and-D player. He can shoot it, create for his own sometime, and an above-average defender. And then, not Luka, Kristaps got hurt in the bubble. Before he got hurt, he was balling, but then he got hurt again, so that kind of sidetracked to some losses in the beginning of the season because they didn't have their second-best player. And then people put all the high expectations on Luka, and I was one of them because I was like, yo, this last season he just had was crazy. And I'm like, he's only going to get better. He's going to build onto this. And he's not living up to it yet, but we got a lot of season left. But this is about right now. This team, I want to say, is 9-12. And I don't know, they look really bad. First off, I want to start with Luka. Skip Bayless is all the time. He Skip Bayless, he's like a hater. But he was like, Luka is not a good 3-point shooter at all, and he can't shoot at all. And I'm like, man, he shoot like 32% from the 3. That's decent. He's shooting 28% from the 3 this year. And before Kelly Oubre had that night yesterday, Kelly Oubre was the worst, and then Luka was the second worst. Luka might be the second worst shooter in the league. Far as you got to shoot 103, so second worst 3-point shooter in the league, and he's having a really bad season for shooting the 3. And it's not just him. If you look around the whole team, Josh Richardson is shooting terrible. Kristaps came back, and this is why I'm gonna talk about why I'm not gonna overreact on how Kristaps is looking. But Kristaps came back, had a couple back ends, but he's starting to pick it up. Their big men are not shooting the ball that well. Dorian Finney-Smith, I would say he's the only person really shooting the ball well. Tim Hardaway Jr. just started shooting the ball well. Hey, get out of my room, bro. Hold on. Get out. That was my dog. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Tim Hardaway Jr. just started shooting the ball a little bit better. And, they basically had the same team. They just switched out Josh Richardson for Seth Curry. And I really didn't expect the 3-point shooting to be this bad. But it's been looking terrible, and it starts from the top. And then you get another piece in James Johnson, who they don't use, which I felt like is a player that they should use because, one, their shooting is not good, and James Johnson is a person that can shoot and also create for his own and play that point forward role. And two, he's just a good defender, and their defense is trash. Their defense is really trash. Like, they gave us 70 points in the first half yesterday. That's terrible. And then, like I said, Kristaps just came back from his injury, and that's why I'm not going to overreact on it. Last season, Kristaps came back from an injury. First month and a half, he was terrible. Then after that, that's when when Luka left, and what's something I don't hope to happen this year when Luka got hurt last year. When Luka got hurt and Kristaps was the number one, he was killing. And then when Luka came back, they were both killing. So it's going to take time. And you see him, he's getting better, but I want him to be more aggressive. You're 7-3. They played the Warriors yesterday. The Warriors had nobody over 7-7, 6-7. And you didn't see no Kristaps post up. And that can be because of the coaches just wasn't trying to draw that play, or Kristaps wasn't aggressive enough. And I know you just came back from an injury, but you got to be aggressive enough. You're 7-3 who can shoot the ball from anywhere in the court. If you don't post somebody up, but hey, Kristaps has never been that player, so I'm not going to ask him to do that. But you would like to see that from your 7-3 unicorn against people that's not even half his size. Like, I don't know. But other than that, the pieces that they brought in, they don't use, like James Johnson. Then one piece that they brought in, Josh Richardson, he's looking terrible this season. Only averaging like 12 points, bad shooting splits, shooting like 30% from the three. And he looks bad. I ain't gonna lie, the 76ers look like they won that trade because he looks bad. And I don't know where this team goes at next because they really don't have assets like that. They got Josh Green. They got Tyrell Terry, who they don't use, who I feel like a player that they should use off the bench. A bright spot coming off the bench, though, is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has been balling this season, so I give that to them. But other than that, they don't really have pieces like that to go get somebody that can complement Luka and Kristaps, like a Bradley Beal. That will help them a lot. But they don't have the pieces to get there. And then they don't have their pick this year, so they're terrible. The Knicks get their pick. The Knicks going to have 2 lottery picks if the Mavericks are terrible. And I don't know, they don't look good at all. The defense is terrible. 3-point shooting is terrible. Like yesterday, this is a big example. They actually came out shooting really good. It was at a point they were 18 for 36. So there was 50% from 3. After that, they went on a 0-8 3-point run. And after that, they just kept shooting threes to try to get back in the game. And I understand you're trying to get back in the game. You was only down by like 12 points at that time. You just going to keep shooting threes. Like it was 2 times in a row when Tim Hardaway Jr. just had to pull-up 3 and miss. And I'm like, yo, that's a terrible shot, especially when y'all trying to get back in the game. And you just seen yesterday they was trying to live by the 3, die by the 3. But it just didn't look the same. And it shows that, like, Steven Silas was a big part of this team because the offense just looks terrible. Like, they were the best offense last season. They're one of the worst offenses this season. They had the worst 3-point shooting offense this season when they were the best 3-point shooting offense last season. So, I don't know what it is, man. They just look terrible. And a big part of it is because Luka. Luka does not look the same as he looked last season. He's doing a lot more whining for foul calls, which he is a superstar at this point, so he should get some of them calls. But sometimes I don't want to like hate on LeBron, but like LeBron do the same stuff. Like they both just whine after every call that they don't get, which is understandable. But still, like, come on now. You stop whining. But Luka whines after every call. He doesn't look the same. The confidence doesn't look the same. Like, he's not the same shots he was getting last year. He's bricking this year. So, I don't know what happened to his 3-point shot. He needs to get to the hole more because he is a 6'7" point guard. And it is little point guards that be guarding him every day. So, he needs to get to the hole more. When Kristaps starting to get better, I feel like this team's going to be even better. That's why I'm not really overreacting on the team. But they need to get another piece because Josh Richardson is not that piece for this team, not at all. They need to try to go get a Bradley Beal. Zach LaVine would even be perfect on this team. Even if they had Steph Curry back, I would still view this team as a really good team. But Josh Richardson is not that player that we expected him to be for this team. And yeah, they look really bad, man. They look really bad. Next to Cleveland, I forgot. That's my guy. He doing his thing. He's shooting the 3 and he's playing really good defense, but he can't do it all. He can't do it all because Luka's playing terrible. Kristaps playing not that good. Josh playing terrible. I don't know where this team goes because they don't have no picks. They don't have their pick this season. Have no assets. How can they really get better? The only way they get better is Luka and Kristaps be dominant like they was last year in the bubble. They dominant like they was last year in the bubble. Like if they could turn this around, they're only down. They're like the 11th seed right now, so it's not like they're down bad. But like I was expecting this team to be like a top 4, top 5 seed, and they just look terrible. I don't know what changed. Tim Hardaway Jr. just doesn't look as good as he looked last season because he's a player that making $17 million the past 2 seasons. And I was like, he going into free agency this season. He gonna get like 13 to 12. 12 to 13. He probably won't even get over 10 this season because he doesn't look that good. But yeah, I don't know how this team gets better, man. Wing depth, I guess. Get a get a better starting three. Because who is their starting three? Dorian Finney-Smith, he's cool, but like get an Otto Porter. Otto Porter would be perfect on this team, but you can't really trade for him. Make it $27 million, but Otto Porter would be perfect for this team. But yeah, that's it, man. I just wanted to talk about them. I just feel like I don't know what's wrong with them, and they just I don't know. They might not. I'm not gonna sit here and overreact and be like they're not gonna make the playoffs, but they're definitely gonna be in the play-in game. So they're gonna be like an 8 through 12. I think it's 12 seed. Yeah, 8 through 12 seed for the play-in game. But other than that, I was expecting this team to be high, and they just look really disappointed. But other than that, I'm gonna bring in the Western Conference All-Stars on Monday because I got work the next 2 days, and I just want to bring a quick video for y'all. But other than that, that's it for this video, and I'll talk.